Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Cheltenham Racecourse here on Friday. It is March the 18th, 2016. It's the final day of the festival from Cheltenham. It's Gold Cup Day, so we have an excellent card of 7 races, the most difficult card so far to handicap. I've been saying that every day, the cards are getting difficult and more, So we have 7 races to get to. So yeah, and remember to follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections from around the world. And remember to join me next week for the all-weather championships from Linkfield here on YouTube, and in a few weeks for the Grand National here on YouTube. So for more selection for that, so stay around, check that, and remember to follow me next week for the Dubai World Cup. Even forgot about that. So yeah, so we have a lot of action to get to. Let's get to today's first race. Do 1:30 post time from Shelton. It's the Grade 1 JCB Triumph Hurdle. It's a Grade 1 here going over the 2 miles and 1/8 over the hurdle course. Purse $176,500 for juveniles, 4-year-olds only. We have a field of 15 horses going to post. Remember, this is the $176,000 or whatever the purse is, or the prize money. That's in American currencies. I'm looking at these races more towards American point of view, so get that. So just get that. 15 horses we have in this race. It's a very tough race to look at. So I went 3 horses deep with the 5, 8, 12. Number 5, Footpad at 8-1. Ruby Walsh on this one. Last time out, ran Leopardstown on February 6th on a soft turf course, 2 miles over the hurdle in the Grade 1 Gain Spring Juvenile Hurdle. Won by 2 3/4 lengths that day, and he really ran well in a field of 8 horses. A very nice hurdle run. Then at January 21st in Ireland on a heavy turf course, 2 miles and just a plain hurdle race, won by 12 lengths in a field of 3, and he just went easy again. Just a plain old race to prep him. And then the King Knight in the Knight Frank Juvenile Hurdle. Grade 2 event at Leopardstown in February, December 26th, 2 miles over the hurdle. Finished third by 8 lengths, and he just didn't have that extra kick in the final run-in. I think this horse should really do well here. He should be on the improvement. His last start was pretty good in the Gain Spring Juvenile at Leopardstown. So I'm going to go with this one, and I'm also going to go with the 8 horse, number 8, who is Ivanich Gorbatov. Hopefully I said that right. My pronunciation of some words is just incredible, so just keep that. It's the 8 horse. Just remember that. 4-1 with Barry Garrity. Last time out, I ran at Leopardstown on February the 6th, 2 miles over the hurdles in the Grade 1 Gain Springs Juvenile Hurdle. Finished 4th by 9 3/4 lengths. My other horse, Footpad, who I also have on this ticket, won that day. This horse finished 4th, was the heavy favorite also, to keep that in mind. He just had nothing that day. I don't know what was the matter with this one. And then first start with the hurdles at Leopardstown, December 27th in Juvenile Maiden Hurdle. Won by 2 1/4 lengths, and he won easily in a field of 18 horses in that Juvenile Hurdle run. He should really be on the improvement. Last time against graded company. He's coming back today. Should really do well. And I'm also going to go with the 12 horse. Number 1, Who Dares to Win at 10-1. Bit of a long shot here. Last time out, ran January the 30th here at Cheltenham over heavy turf course, very waterlogged turf course, 2 miles and 1/8 over the hurdles in the JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial. He finished fourth that day by 3 1/4 lengths, and he just didn't. After the final hurdle, he didn't get that good run in that day. It was close to the favorite. Wasn't a heavy favorite, but he was one of the favorites. Then at Doncaster on December the 12th, 2 miles and 1/8 in the Grade 2 Bet 365 Summit Juvenile Hurdle. Won by 20 lengths that day in the field of 6, and he kept going and kept going and kept going. And then Juvenile Hurdle 2 miles on November the 12th. Won by 3/4 length in the field of 7. He was just renowned, was a heavy favorite also that day. I really like this horse here. This one will be my long shot play. He should really be on the improvement again. So recap my bets for the 1:30 post time, the first race from Shelton. It's a JCB Triumph Hurdle. I'm going to go with the 5, 8, 12. So now let's get on to race number 2 from Shelton. The second race from Shelton, the 2:10 post time. It is the Vincent O'Brien County Handicap Hurdle, Class 1 here, Grade 3, purse $132,500. That's in American currency for 5-year-olds and upwards, going 2 miles and 1/8 over the hurdle. We have a field of 26 horses. If you're betting here in America, the 24, 25, and 26 are going to get a field odds. So just remember that. We don't see that a lot in America anymore. They used to do it a lot, but not anymore. Like I said, we have that many horses, and I'm going to go 3 horses deep again. I'm going to go 7, 15, 16. So that was the 7, 15, 16. Number 7, who's all yours at 10-1. Last time out, ran hasn't started since November the 7th on a soft turf course, mile 7/8, and the grade 2 StanJames.com Elite Hurdle. Finished fifth by 9 3/4 lengths that day, and it was just weakening that day. That was the horse's first start since April 9th at Aintree. 2 miles and eighth and anniversary 4-year-old's juvenile hurdle, won by 3/4 length. It was a bit of a price that day, and he really ran really well that day. A very nice start over the hurdles. And then at Shelton Shelton Festival, March the 11th, 2015. Good turf course, 2 miles and 16th over the hurdle in the grade 3 Fred Winter Juvenile Handicap Hurdle. Finished fourth by 4.5 lengths that day, and he didn't have that good run-in going up the hill. He should really do well here this year. Biggest question, he hasn't started in a few months, so he's either going to be ready or he's going to be a very tired horse by the end of the race. So I'm going to take my chances with this one here at 10-1. I'm also going to put on my ticket the 15 horse, number 15, Stern Reuben. 15-1 last time out, ran on February the 13th at Newbury, 2 miles over the hurdles on the grade 3 Betfair hurdle. He didn't finish that day. This horse pulled up out of that race that day. So yeah, you could keep that in mind. He pulled up. I don't like picking horses that pulled up out of a race. Next time out. So he had some really good races before that. At Ascot, 2 miles in the Grade 3 Ladbroke Stakes, or handicap, December 19th, owned by 2.25 lengths that day, and he really ran really well that day. And then Newbury in the listed handicap hurdle, won by 4 lengths, and that was a horse's first start since May at Exeter, and he really ran well. I'm gonna go with this one. Should be hard to beat one. Again, a little bit of a long shot. And I'm also going to put the 16 Star Chite. Didn't say that right, but it's close enough. At 12-1. Last time out, ran on February 13th at Newbury on a heavy turf course. 2 miles in the grade 3 Betfair hurdle. Finished second by 11 lengths that day. Same race my other horse, Stern Reuben, came out of. Finished second by 11 lengths. He just didn't have that extra good run in that day. A little bit tired that day. Wasn't catching winner at all. So that was the horse's first start since April 9th at Aintree. 2 miles and eighth in the anniversary 4-year-old's juvenile hurdle. He didn't finish again that day either. He fell, so yeah, keep that in mind. And then in the grade 3 Fred Winter Juvenile Hurdle here at the Shelton Festival of 2015, finished fourth by 4.25 lengths. He just lost third that day into the final run-in. So going to go with this one. So recap my bets for the 210 from Shelton, the second race from Shelton. It's the Vincent O'Brien County Handicap Hurdle. Going to go 7-15-16. That was the 7-15-16. So now let's get on to race number 3, the third race, which is the 2:50 post time. The third race goes off 10:50 in the morning here in New York City, here on the East Coast of America, here in the States. We have the third race is the Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle, Grade 1, Class 1, going for a purse of $176,500 for novice horses, 4-year-olds and upwards, going 3 miles over the hurdles. We have a field of 20 horses, and I'm going to go 3 deep here again. It's a very wide open race. I'm going to go 6-14-16. So that was the 6-14-16. Number 6, Barter's Hill at 5-2. Hasn't started since January 30th, so about 6 weeks layoff. Doncaster, 3 miles over the hurdle in the Grade 2 Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle trial that day. He won by 3/4 length that day, and he ran really well, I have to say. A very nice run. Then the Betfred Goals Galore Novice Hurdle at Newbury on December the 29th, 2 miles and 9/16. That's 2 miles and 4.5 furlongs, I believe. Won by 12 lengths, it's a little fact. He ran really well that day to a very nice victory. And then on November the 1st in Novice Hurdle Class 4, he won by 14 lengths, just easy first start back from a start on April 10th at Aintree of 2015 during the Grand National meeting, and the Grade 2 Weatherby's Champion Standard Open National Hunt Flat Race. He won by 1/4 length. Just really good run that day over the National Hunt. So gonna go with this one, 5-2. I'm also gonna put the 14 horse on my ticket. Number 14, Long Dog at 8-1, Ruby Walsh. Last time I ran Leopardstown on December the 27th, 2 miles in the Grade 1 Paddy Power Future Champion Navi's Hurdle. Won by 3/4 of a length that day, and he really ran very well in the field of 9 horses. This jumping season, this horse is basically undefeated. He's been running really well. Then a Fair House on November 29th in Ireland, 2 miles over the hurdles in Grade 1 Bar 1 Racing Royal Bond Navi's Hurdle. He won by a neck, and he just held on that day. The horses were coming for him. And then the at Limerick in Ireland, October 11th, in the 2 miles 5/8 hurdle. Grade 3 Shannon Airport Christmas Racing Festival Navi's Hurdle. He won by 3/4 of a length, 3 3/4 lengths actually. He ran really well, so he's really well. He's running really well. Should be on the improvement off his last few starts. So going to go with this horse. And I'm also going to go with the 16 horse Chanteau Village at 4-1. Last time out, ran Cheltenham on January 30th, 2.5 miles over the hurdle in the Grade 2 Neptune Investment Navi's Hurdle. He finished second by 7 lengths that day, and he just didn't really have a good run in that day. Then over here at Cheltenham again on November the 13th, 2 miles 5/8 in Neptune Investment Manager's Hurdle Trial. Won by 15 lengths, and he ran very good that day. This jump season, this horse has 2 wins and 1 second. He won his first race back in the jump season since March in a national Hunt Navi's Hurdle. He won by 19 lengths and really ran really well, and won by 15 lengths to Shelton back in November. And then last time out, finished second by 7 lengths, but he had a little bit of a layoff. He should really have a great run today. So watch out for this one. So recap my bets for today's third race, the 2:50 post time from Shelton. It's the Albert Bartlett Navi's Hurdle. I'm going to go with the 6-14-16. So let's get on to the next race, which is the Gold Cup from Shelton. The 3:30 from Shelton is the featured we all been waiting for. It's the Shelton Gold Cup here, going off as race number 4. It goes off, like I said, 3:30. It goes off 11:30 here on the East Coast in the United States, here in New York City. So I have to wake up before noon. So that's going to be something very special. It's the Grade 1 Shelton Gold Cup Chase. Class 1 horse is going for $845,500. It's in American currency, so you remember that. With 5-year-olds and upwards, 3 miles and 1/4 over the steeplechase course, 10 horses. And I could have won probably with half the horses in this race. It's how wide open. But I took the number down to 2 horses who I think have really run well and who are in the improvement, and those are the 3 and the 4. Number 3, and hopefully I say this right because my pronunciation of some words is just horrendous. It's number 3, who is Jacques Dam. We'll go with that, Jacques Dam. At 3, though, I could be totally wrong, so don't take the piss out of me. With Ruby Walsh on this one, should be really on the improvement after his last start here at Shelm on a wet turf course on 3 miles and 1/8 over the steeplechase and Brett Bright trial chase, Grade 2. He didn't finish that day, he fell, so you could throw that race right out. Then at Punchestown on December the 6th in Ireland, 2.5 miles over the steeplechase in the John Durkin Memorial Punchestown Chase. Won by 12 lengths that day, and he ran really, really well to a very nice victory. Ran at Punchestown. That was the horse's first start since April 29th. From April 29th start was at Punchestown, 3 miles and 1/8 in the Punchestown Gold Cup. Finished second by 7 lengths that day. Was the favorite, but he wasn't catching the winner, Don Kasek, who's also in this race, who's my other selection. So really running well. Ran the Gold Cup last year here at Shelton. Finished second by 1.5 lengths, and he really ran well that day. There was nothing to fault. He wasn't catching the winner, who was Coney Gree. Should be on the improvement today. Watch out for this one. 3-1. Almost won this race last season. And I'm also going to go with the 4 horse here, Don Kasek, German-bred horse here at 5-2. Last time out, ran on January the 14th in Ireland on a soft turf course, 2.5 miles in the Grade 2 Ladbrokes Ireland Bray Chase. Won by 9.5 lengths that day, and he really ran well. It was only a field of 4 horses, so remember that. Start before that was at Kempton in the UK on December 26th, 3 miles over the steeplechase in King George Chase. He didn't finish that day. He fell and was a favorite that day, so a lot of people must have been really mad that he fell. A lot of people probably had tons of money on him. And then in Ireland on October 31st, 3 miles over the steeplechase and the Champion Chase, Grade 1 event that day, won by 8 lengths in the field of four. He really won easily. This horse is on the improvement. Won the Betfred Melling Chase at Aintree last season and won by 26 lengths and really, really just won easily. Favorite that day, and he won like a favorite should do, winning by 26 lengths over the steeplechase. Gonna go with this one. Like I said, both these horses look very, very very look like they're on the improvement. Don Cossack should be very tough here in this spot. So gonna go with this one on this 9-year-old gelding. So recap my bets for the Gold Cup race number 4 from Shelton. It's the 3:30 post time. It's the one we all been waiting for. Gonna go with the 3-4 here. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Shelton, the 5th race from Shelton. Here on this final day of the festival, it's St. James Palace. St. James Place Fox Hunter Chase Challenge Cup. It's Hunter's Chase Class 2 event here. Going for a purse of $59,000. Going 3 miles and 1/4 over the steeplechase. We have 24 horses going to post, and it's another wide open race. Get a dart, throw the dart at the dartboard, and that's your selection because it's just so difficult for this one. So I went 3 horses deep here, 7, 12, 14. Number 7, current event, a French bred horse here, 15-1. Last time out around February the 28th of 2016, 2 miles and a half in a point-to-point race, won by 8 lengths that day, and just ran really well that day. Then a Hunter's Chase on May 29th, 2 miles and 7/8. Finished second by 8 lengths that day, and he just didn't have that extra oomph that day, And then handicap Hunter's Chase on May 19th, really won by 5 lengths, really ran well. A heavy favorite that day also. Should really have a good performance today. And I'm also going to go with the 12 horse. Number 12, It Came to Pass, 12-1. Last time out, ran at Leopardstown in Ireland on February the 6th, 3 miles in the steeplechase, Hunter's Chase. Finished second by 1 3/4 lengths that day. He kept on going to a very nice second place finish. Wasn't catching one of You Must Know Me, so just keep that in mind. And then Limerick in Ireland on December the 27th, 2 miles and 3/4 in a maiden Hunter's Chase. Broke his maiden by 15 lengths that day, and he was very, very good that day. So gonna go with this one. Has 4 starts under his career. So gonna go with this one, and I'm also gonna put on my ticket the 14 horse Marito, at 7-1. Last time out in Ireland on Starbury the 7, 3 miles in Irish point to point. Finished second by half length that day. He lost. He wasn't what catching a winner for sure that day. But he had a decent second place run. Then 2 miles and 3/4 over the steeplechase and Hunter's Chase like today. Won by 15 lengths that day and really ran very good. So gonna go with this one. This 10-year-old gelding who has 34 starts under his career. 34 out of 34 starts, 9 wins, 9 seconds, 2/3. So gonna go with this one. So to recap my bets for the 5th race from Shelton, it is the 4:10 post time. Gonna go with the 7, 12, 14. That was the 7, 12, 14. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Shelton, the 6th race, which is the 4:50 post time. It is the Martin Pipe Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle. Going for a handicap hurdle, Class 2 horses here, going for a purse of $88,000. Going 2 miles and a half over the hurdle course. We have field 24 horses, and this is another race. Get the dart, throw it at the dartboard, and that's your selection. So pick your horse. I went 4 horses deep in this race. I'm going to go 2, 7, 11, 20. That was 2, 7, 11, 20. Number 2, Squateur at 9-2, a French bred horse here. So 4.5 to 1. Last time out, ran at Ferry House in Ireland on February the 26th, 2 miles and a half, and the handicap hurdle, won by 1 3/4 lengths that day, and he kept on going that day. Very nice win. Then at Leopardstown on December the 29th, 2 miles and a half over the hurdle, again in a novice handicap hurdle, won by 3 lengths that day, and he really ran his last half of the furlong. Was really good. So he looks like he's on the improvement. Should really do well against these horses. I'm also going to put the 7 on my ticket, who's Label des Abu. of another French bred horse, and yeah. Last time out, ran on a 15-1 last time out. They run on February the 12th at Kempton, 2 miles and 5/8 over the hurdle in Navi's Class 4 hurdle. Finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. Was a heavy favorite that day, so keep that in mind in field 13. But wasn't catching. He just weakened that day. He wasn't catching the winner, and yeah. Then Newberry on December the 29th, 2 miles and 9/16 in Grade 1. Galore, Shallow, and Novi's Hurdle. Finished third by 13 lengths that day. I don't know what happened to that race. He looked good, but he looked bad at the same time. I don't know, that might contradict what I just said, but it was a looking at I watched the replay a few times for this horse. Out of all the replays I watched this week for all these horses, this one was the most interesting race. Because I really don't know what happened to him that day. He should really be on the improvement today. His start at Kempton wasn't half bad, but like I said, he was just weakening. And then he had to start Sandown back in December the 4th in a Grade 2 Neptune Investment Management Navi's Hurdle. Won by 1.5 lengths. That was a really good run for this horse in the field of 8. So going to put him on my ticket also with the 11 horse, number 11, IBIS De Rue. I don't know if that IBIS is supposed to pronounce something, or is it just the letters IBIS or Ibis De Rue. 12-1 here. Last time out, ran on February the 6th at Sandown, 2 miles and 7/8, or 2 miles, 2 miles 7/8 in Grade 3. Bedford Mobile Heroes Handicap Hurdle. Finished 5th by 33 lengths that day, and he was just weakening that day. Then a listed handicap hurdle at Kempton back in January. Finished third by 3 3/4 lengths that day. Again, he didn't have that extra kick in him. He should really be on the improvement today. Finished sixth over a handicap. Excuse me. He finished second here in a handicap hurdle at Newberry back in November. So, and that was a really good run. He just held second that day, but I have to say I really like that run from him. Should be on the improvement today also with number 20. Number 20, who is Jetstream Jack. 10-1. Last time out there, did run on February the 8th at 2 miles and 3/8, 2 miles and 3 furlongs. That is, and Novi's hurdle Class 4 event. Won by a half length that day. And he was just really, really running well. Then a Punchestown, Ireland on December the 31st, 3 miles in Grade 2 Doran. Pride, Navi's Hurdle. Finished second by 13 lengths. He kept on going that day. Very nice second place finish. Gonna go with this one. So to repeat my bets here for race number 6, the 450 from Cheltenham. It is, let me get to the race. It is the Martin Pipe Conditional Jockey's Handicap Hurdle. Gonna go with the 2-7-11-20. That was the 2-7-11-20. So now let's get on to race number 7, the final race of the Cheltenham Festival of 2016. It goes off at 5:30 in the afternoon at Cheltenham. It goes off at 1:30 here in New York City, here in America. The final race number 7, it's the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual Chase Challenge Cup. Grade 3, Class 1 horse is going for a purse $147,000, 2 miles over the steeplechase. We have a field of 24 horses, and this race was a little bit more, how do I say, it was a little bit more easy to handicap this race. Went too deep here of the 7 and the 8. Number 7, Velvet Maker at 8-1, a French bred horse. Last time out in Ireland, Leopardstown on January 24th in Grade 1. Frank Ward, Slisters, Arkles, Navi's Chase. Finished second by 15 lengths that day, and he wasn't catching the winner that day, who is Dalvin, who he lost to in his last 2 starts. Start before that was on Leopardstown on December the 26th, 2 miles and 8, in the Racing Post Navi's Chase. Again, he finished third by 50 lengths to the winner, Dalvin. So he was just easing up towards the end of the race. So, and then National Ireland on November the 1st in the Beginner's Chase. Broke his Beginner's Chase by 11 lengths. Really ran well that day. So going to go with this one. Should be on the improvement. And I'm also going to put the 8-horse Rock the World on my ticket at 10-1. This 8-year-old gelding last time out. Ran at Cheltenham on October the 23rd, 2 miles over the steeplechase in Navi's Chase. Won by 2 lengths that day. He was just driven out to a very nice victory. Then in Ireland on September the 20th, 2 miles and a half in the steeplechase, Navi's Chase. Finished second by 2 lengths. He kept on going again that day. And then September the 8th in a 2 miles and a quarter, Grade 3, Valley Brick, Navi's Chase. Won by 2 lengths. He really ran well. So going to go with this one. So recount my bets for race number 7, the 5:30 from Cheltenham. It's the final race of the Cheltenham Festival 2016. It's the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual Chase Challenge Cup. Gonna go with the 7-8. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selection from around the world. And remember to join me next week for the All Weathers Championship from Linkfield, also the Dubai World Cup, and in a few weeks' time the Grand National from Aintree for that whole meet. So remember to join me here on YouTube for that. So good luck to all, and let's make some money. Good luck.